Do you remember? Redraw. Redraw. Do you remember? Redraw. Redraw. Do you remember? Redraw.
Hello, everybody. I am a blinking square. Give me 1 second to fix that. Am I back? No, I'm still a square. Hold on. Folks, it's embarrassing. I never wanted you to see me as a blinking square. Let me just fix this technical difficulty.
I like it.
I don't. I like to be hip. Did you know it's not really hip to be square? I don't know what Huey Lewis and the News were talking about. All right, folks, we are here with my buddy Blue. Blue, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You were watching the stream. I had my buddy Kasu on, hanging out, doing some pixel art.
Yeah.
But actually, we have a third friend on our stream today.
Is it Snoopy?
It is Snoopy. Everyone say hello to Snoopy. Am I gonna get this? Am I gonna get this stream taken down? You think if I put this on YouTube?
Because of Snoopy? I mean, weren't you drawing like Marvel characters with Austin? I think Snoopy's okay.
Okay. This is, folks. This is for those who are unfamiliar. This is Snoopy from the hit comic strip Peanuts, or by the creator Charles Schultz's preferred name. What was it? Peanuts and Charlie Brown and the Gang. Good old Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah.
But sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Blue. I know Blue from, all the way back from maybe freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school. No, that can't be right. So
No,
we met
probably college.
Yes, college. Specifically, like right after high school, because I was in a band.
Yeah.
And we played in the Bay Area, Fremont, Livermore music scene. And you were part of that scene too, because you were friends with many of the musicians that would play in our scene.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was friends with maybe I shouldn't say who. Maybe that would be.
If anything,
it's funny to me too, Austin.
No, if anything, I think it's a major name drop. Do you want to tell people who else you knew?
A major name drop? Well, I knew the Invisible Sundial.
Wow, the Invisible
Sundial.
Sundial.
Very well known to the
very big friend
people of this stream.
Big friend of the stream.
Yeah.
The Invisible Sundial was actually one of our connecting tissues of getting to know each other. And but I really don't know how we got introduced in regards to art. Actually I do know, because both of us on Tumblr, but specifically I think because we both used to do band posters. We used to do art for bands that played in our community. I remember you did a lot of the art, and maybe, I don't know if you did shirts, but I remember the robot character for Robota. Was that what that robot design was for?
Yes, I did not do the shirt. That was Eli made that design, but I did an album cover for Robota, and I also did some show posters, not just for Robota, but like they were shows that Robota was playing at.
Yeah, and did you do anything for Piranha Party? I don't remember.
I did a shirt design for Piranha Party, but they did not end up printing the shirts. So.
Yeah, sometimes. I did. I remember doing some poster designs for some shows that never happened. Unfortunately, they were either canceled for one reason or the other.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was one that was, I did a really cool poster for, there was a benefit concert called, we called it like Halloween Takeover, I think. And one of them happened, but the second one didn't. And it just kind of stings because, I put a lot of... Gosh, I should have pulled up some of those old posters.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, but so Blue and I, we basically were artists in the community, and I learned that you made comics, and you made one particular comic called Flottillion that was actually hosted, and this is how I got to meet for the first time Buff from Gangfight, another friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet? How did you get introduced to Buff?
We were both on the forum Purple Montage.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a bunch of children making webtoons and webcomics that were like inspired by Bonus Stage and Homestar Runner.
Right. So that's right. So you had already known everyone else from that. And then I met you when Buff put together this awesome website called SB Board. I still don't understand what the SB stands for, but I'm gonna go ahead and swipe here. And I hope this isn't too putting you on the spot there, Blue. But I'm showing pages of Flottillion right now.
Oh.
And I remember seeing, because you posted some of this on Tumblr as well, or at least some of your single pieces of art of Flottillion characters. And I remember just being like absolutely enamored by your color, your shapes and form, and then just in general the mystery of this comic, because it was quite enigmatic. Just kind of this like the city of townspeople under some kind of cultish leader, and just kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of great mystery. There's a lot of great relationships between your main character's named Helmet Boy.
Mask Boy.
Mask Boy.
Well, his name is Kenneth, but people call him Mask Boy. Here's one of his friends. His old friend calls him Mask Boy.
Here's a nice drawing of Bill Clinton in your comic.
Oh yeah, I forgot I drew Bill Clinton. Wow, that's great. I like this page.
But there's so much like thought put into this, and I don't know. I'll if you'd please like speak to kind of why you started this comic, or was this your first comic on SB Board?
Yes. I did like a one-off comic, like a one-off gag comic, and that's what I was planning on doing. If you like go back to the very first page, you'll see that the URL inexplicably says how stoplights work. That's because that was what the first comic, like gag comic I made was called. But then I was like, maybe for my second comic I'll do like a bit of a storyline. And then like it turned into this whole huge thing. But this is based off of like story elements that I had like developed in senior year of high school. I wrote like a collection of short stories called Carefree Arizona about a bunch of housewives in like various like surreal situations, being miserable, being in heteronormative relationships. And I set this comic in the same town with some of the same themes and one of the same characters. Astrid is in the collection of short stories as well. But yeah, I also became interested in like cults around that time because I saw a documentary about Jamestown, and I was like, wow, that's crazy that like these regular people just committed
themselves. Yeah. No, I don't know if there was something in the water in our Tri-City area, but I was also really obsessed with cult documentaries in high school.
Oh wait, was it because of Usana?
No, what's Usana?
Oh, okay. So that was like a pyramid scheme that, like around the same time that I was starting Flotillion, there a lot of my friends and acquaintances were joining Usana, which was this like pyramid scheme slash like cult with like this like charismatic leader, and it was really creepy to me because like a lot of these people I knew were like suddenly like talking like weird robots about like buying vitamins.
Oh
Like,
Lord.
vitamins and supplements. Yeah.
So in our hometown, which is for the viewers, which is right next door to. That's right. You grew up. I'm not trying to say the city, but you grew up in that city, right? You went to school and grew up there.
Yeah. I moved to the U.S. from Ukraine when I was 7.
Okay.
And then I've been here ever since. Yeah.
So, my city was neighboring, and we didn't have Usana, a vitamin cult. We had Vector knife cult. So after high school,
Oh, you had a different.
we had a
cult?
different
Oh my
we had
God.
a different MLM show up.
Oh wow.
To recruit us right after they literally were standing outside of our graduation, our track and field where we had our graduation. They were just handing out envelopes, and I was so excited. I was like, oh wow, they're handing out job offers right after high school. Life's already going great for me. And then I read it, and it was like, would you like to sell knives? That was it. Because for me, Vector meant something different. I learned how to use Illustrator in high school, and I was like, oh, this is a design firm that's just plucking me out from my little rinky-dink high school and offering me a job.
Selling knives. I would have joined on the spot. That's so much cooler than selling vitamins.
It's pretty badass, I'd say.
Yeah, maybe it's not too late.
But I don't know where my obsession with cults to this day. Like the last cult I read was for the it was like a leggings company. I forget what it was called. But essentially it was also just an MLM that people just really gravitated towards. But yeah, it's incredible. Flotillion really caught a lot of those kind of like confusing parts about like, yeah, like how do people just like give up their lives? And you know, we've both seen documentaries, so we know that usually it's people who are in one of the lowest points of their lives often get picked up by cults. People often attribute that to why people join the MAGA movement, because people are at the lowest point of their lives and they felt like that and QAnon were ways to kind of take something back or make sense of the world. But I never knew that that's what inspired aspects of Flotillion. But yeah, but you can I think I can go ahead and just drop the link in there. If do you mind if I share the link with folks?
I don't mind. Buff might mind.
Buff is fine.
Screw
Buff is
him.
fine. But folks, you can check out Flotillion and other interesting and potentially problematic comics on sbboard.com.
The really good problematic ones aren't out there anymore.
Okay, good. Actually, and then you'll also find one of my first online comics there, but we're not here to talk about that. Blue, are you ready for our not so mystery theme?
I'm ready. I mean, we've been dilly-dallying.
We
I
have.
feel like we have to get to it.
We have to. We're already 15 minutes in. All right, folks.
Yeah.
Our theme for today is 100 Snoopies, folks. That's right. The only Twitch stream where you're going to find two artists drawing 100 Snoopies. Let me put the music back on. Blue, let me know. Okay. Should we draw each 100 Snoopies? I think we have to draw. I think that'd be 200. That'd be 200 Snoopies. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I know.
So I think we're gonna do 50 each. Let's get started. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but I drew cute little versions of us playing music together.
I am watching the stream. It is very cute.
I'll color that later. We gotta get down to business. We gotta get down to brass tacks. We gotta get down to brass Snoopies. All right.
Yeah, this is
Clean
serious.
slate. All right. You see the reference right there on the stream. Let's
Yes.
All right, let's draw 100 Snoopies. Let's go.
Reference.
You're,
As if I don't know what Snoopy looks like.
I was considering putting a timer. I don't know if that would
That's
have
not a
made.
bad idea.
Would that make things? Would that make? I mean, let's just say. Let's try to get to 9 o'clock with 50 Snoopies each.
Okay.
So, you know, I could tell right away when I started reading Flotillion. I very much saw you as somebody who had a pretty good handle on comics. I felt like I was really struggling with my webcomic, Pheno, because I didn't really know what the art was meant to look like. Of course, art styles change. Flotillion has definitely seen big shifts in the art style over time.
Yeah,
But-
major art style change.
But what got you into comics in the first place? And like, how do you think? Well, and I'll repeat the question later. But how do you think you came to your art style? Yeah, what was your first exposure to comics?
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like, comics aren't really a big thing in Ukraine, so I didn't really grow up reading comics. Like, when I came here, like, I read newspaper comics, but, like, I don't know. I didn't really read a bunch. Like, I don't really have any formative experiences reading comics. But I did, I did love animation. There's a lot of like really cool Soviet animators and like Japanese animators and American animators that I like grew up loving. So I've always like loved stuff related to comics. But yeah, I think but yeah, for a long time I wanted to animate actually and not
Oh, interesting.
do comics. Yeah. But I think in like yeah, again, like senior year of high school, my English teacher was like, "Hey, you should." Oh wait, no, I'm full of shit. Cause like I was drawing comics on like Purple Montage.
Uh huh.
Yes, and that was like
Were you just drawing these on paper?
that was like
or-
junior high. No, so my first webcomic was called Fumets.
Mhm.
And that was I think I posted a lot of it on just like DeviantArt.
Mhm. Yeah.
And actually, one of the characters from Fumets I ended up transporting to Flotillion eventually.
What character was that? Maybe.
He's not a major character.
okay.
Vincent, he's like Mask Boy's uncle.
Uh-huh.
You only see him in like one page. But yeah, I started drawing in junior high because I like was reading a bunch of webcomics.
Yeah,
Like that was
yeah.
really my exposure. I wasn't like really reading traditional print stuff. I like really liked webcomics.
Did you not have access to like any kind of way to animate if that was your original interest?
I animated, but it was like I don't know. It was I just never really got anything off the ground. Like I really wanted to do like a bonus stage type cartoon, just like everybody else that I knew online at the time. But like some of us were doing it. Like Buff had a cartoon, for example. I don't know if you talked about that.
We did not talk about anything before we met, or before I met Buff.
Oh, okay.
But it was an anime. You said it was animated.
Yeah. Buff did a cartoon. It was called Onion.
Uh-huh.
That was for Purple Montage,
Mhm.
and everybody like I knew was doing like bonus stage or Homestar Runner style stuff. And, like that's what I wanted to do too. But as like because that wasn't getting off the ground, and like I didn't really know where to start. I like started doing webcomics instead because that's something I also really liked at the time. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. Was that the question?
Yes, yeah. And then so
That's something about art style as well.
yeah, so like how did you come into the way? I mean, I'm sure I've seen 2 periods of your, I guess maybe 3 periods of your art where I knew the Flotillian style, which I thought was very angular, very strong in its color, and at times, it would go abstract. I've also seen, and we can talk about this later, the project that you were working on that was meant to be, you're essentially kind of like fan fiction or your take of the newspaper strip for better or worse.
For better or for worse, yeah.
Yeah, where again, I'm hopping around real quick, but I think it might have started originally as a long pig comic, which we can again get into further down the line. But you were also trying to learn how to draw more, to render more realistically or more representationally in your comic art. And then I think more recently you've kind of verged more cartoony, if that feels like a fair assessment. But how do you think you first approached art when you were drawing comics for Purple Montage? Was it just like bonus stage like characters like?
Yeah. I think the main thing was to like try to have like strong character designs, because like Homestar is great. It doesn't really have a ton going on in terms of like oh, this foot is bad. I have to fix it.
It's a very Wallace and Gromity Snoopy.
Thank you. I like that you're numbering them. I should do that.
I don't want to count them at the end of the stream.
Yeah, great, good point. Yeah. So like Homestar was like all about like having iconic character designs. It doesn't really have a ton going on in terms of like dynamic poses or even like backgrounds. Like there's some fun drawing stuff, especially when like Strong Bad is like doing a drawing, or they're doing like a parody of like a 80s like flyer or like board game or promotional material or cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was what I took away from it. Like you have to have really iconic character designs. So at that point, like that was kind of what I was going for. And I think that carried on into Flotillian as well. Like that was how I started. I was like, I'm gonna design a bunch of weirdos.
They were color coded.
Yeah. But then but I don't know, I've always like been more attracted to more cartoony stuff. The realistic stuff that you're talking about, the reason why I was doing realistic stuff is because that comic was going to be 3D.
That's right. Yeah.
So it was going to be 3D in the sense of like that like a video game is 3D.
Yeah.
That you can like walk through it.
Like the Bath Crone experience that you made.
Yes, like Bath Crone. So it was going to be like that, which was wildly ambitious of me, and I could see why it didn't work out. But yeah, for that, like it was still kind of cartoony, but I felt like I wanted something a little bit more realistic to like get that story across, because it was going to be a bit more more like grounded and dramatic.
Yeah,
I don't know, not that floaty isn't, but yeah,
you wanted something a little more representational, especially because I think what you wanted to focus on more with that story, and I'll let you give a little brief description of it if that's all right. But you wanted to focus a lot on that kind of like emotive struggle for the main character. I'm sorry I'm blanking on their names, but essentially in short, you took 2 main characters from the newspaper comic strip for better for worse, and you essentially posited like what their relationship, one being of an unrequited gay love, where one of the characters came out or was trying to come out.
I wouldn't say it was exactly about unrequited gay love.
Oh, okay.
But like one of the characters in Better or for Worse like is gay, like canonically in the original comic.
That's right.
Yeah. So that character's name is Lawrence. The character I wasn't going to name him the same thing, but he was basically going to be Lawrence. But I started reading For Better or For Worse. I read the whole run of it.
And it's
quite lengthy.
It is, because for those who are unfamiliar, For Better or For Worse is a generational story. Like, the characters, they get married, they have kids, those kids grow up, and you actually see the original characters age and die. I think one of them, the father dies, or
yeah, the father, the father basically gets written out of the comic. I think he does die. I don't remember, but by that point, he may as well be dead. He's better off dead at that point. Because, I guess it's like he was roughly based on the author's real life husband, and they were I guess divorced. So she didn't really want to write about him. So she kind of made him irrelevant in the comic, and then I think I don't even remember if she killed him off or not. But yeah, it's like Gasoline Alley, in that the characters all age in quote unquote real time. But Lawrence comes out as gay, and I knew that going in, and that's sort of why I wanted to read it, because I was curious, because it was sort of a big event. It was the first time a syndicated webcomic had a character come out, and it was actually more significant than that, even, because it was a character who had been there from the very beginning. So it wasn't a new gay character that they added just to be gay and then come out and whatever and then fade away.
Yeah.
It was a character who was from in the comic from the very beginning, and presumably going to stick around. So it was I know he comes out. I've already read his coming out storyline, but I want to see what else happens to him. And unfortunately, I found out that very little does, and you kind of really have to look for it to even get a sense of what's going on. You kind of have to do some imaginative work.
I mean, does he have any storylines that are revolving around his queerness at all? And For Better or For Worse?
Not really. He besides his coming out storyline, the only one that I remember is he mentions that he's dating an older guy when they're he and Michael, his straight best friend, are both in college. But we never get to see who he's dating or anything like that. So what I started wondering is what is this person's life outside of the gravitational pull of this straight main character who and I sort of I wanted to do something that was sort of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. Have you ever seen that?
No, I'm not familiar.
Movie? Okay, so it's an absurdist play. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are two very, very minor characters in Hamlet, and basically their only role in Hamlet is that they end up dead through their own incompetence, and they're otherwise not very important. But Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead is about what they get up to when they're not in Shakespeare's play. And what they get up to is that they walk around and have no purpose.
Oh no.
Just exist in this weird nothing realm where the laws of probability don't even seem to make sense. There's a recurring bit in which one of them flips a coin throughout the story, and the coin always comes up tails. and it comes up tails like 100 times in a row or something like that. But then they like the scenes that they are in Hamlet are like included in the story. So like they like gain purpose when
The moment they're on.
those scenes come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the tragedy like is that everything that has purpose in their life is like purpose and meaning in their about their existence is like leading inevitably to their death. So so I kind of want to do something like that, where like Lawrence like when he's not around Michael, he finds himself in this like weird, hard to understand like queer realm of like weird dudes. Yeah.
No, I think that was such an incredible way of kind of because we were talking earlier with Kasu on the stream about like, you know, at what point like do you dedicate your time to characters somebody else made? And for that story, did it have a title by the way?
It was called 5 Dirty Minutes in the Dark.
5 Dirty Minutes in the Dark. That concept itself, it has to be from that world. It has to be from that property because you're trying to say something about kind of, and this is maybe me putting words in your mouth, but kind of like queer erasure. I have to bring it all back to Materialists with Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans. I counted 2 queer couples in the whole movie, and Catherine said that's probably fairly realistic in terms of like how the focus of the movie was like very, very affluent people. And like it's just like realistically like they probably wouldn't be in those spaces. But I'm getting sorry, Materialist left an impact on me. But a bad one.
It.
A bad
glad
impact.
You enjoyed it.
No, I did not enjoy it. A bad impact.
Oh, I'm glad you hated it. I'm glad you hated it. It sucks. We all hate it in here.
But what I was getting at was essentially like you have to kind of make a fan comic or a fan story with the idea of these characters, because you are trying to say something about this character being, or at least the inspiration of this character was hidden despite having come out as gay in the comic.
Yeah. It definitely that's something that I wanted. Is to like have it be those characters, but like I wasn't really sure if I could realistically do that, and that's part of why it didn't go forward. Like that, and along with like the ambition of the project.
Do you think it's a story you'd like to revisit?
I think about that sometimes because I feel like I could revisit it in a less ambitious format. There's nothing that like it doesn't need to be a 3D comic in the way that I envisioned it. It could just be a regular comic. But it's still like it still seems like it would take quite a deal of work, but it's not necessarily bad.
Is Bathcrone still on your itch?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. If Austin or Buff, if you have a chance, could you link to the Bathcrone? I think it'd be really fun for people to check out. But yeah, I bring this back to the idea of an ambitious execution of an idea. I bring that back to like how originally you wanted to do animation. Sometimes I would say making comics is a little easier. When I make comparisons to comics and animation, I usually say animators are often working in 12 pictures a second, which amounts to so much. And then in comics, we're essentially maybe four panels a page at the least. So I'd say comics is a very accessible medium. But also you were trying to make a 3D experience, which is also just a very...
I was basically trying to make a video game.
Yeah.
So like... I mean, it would have been simpler than other video games because it would have had no interaction other than walking. It was basically going to be like a walking simulator, but it like more strongly narratively focused.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you ever think about that scene in Fooly Cooly where they like animate it as a manga page, and then they start doing it a second time, and one of the characters is like, "No, we can't do this because last time we did it was too expensive." I think about that all the time because.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm gonna pretend that I've watched Fully Cooley. I don't want to lose my street cred with the audience. But yes,
you haven't watched Fully Cooley?
I do.
Wow, you should all unsubscribe.
I do remember that from Fully Cooley.
Yeah. But like it just surprised me that they would be like, oh, it's actually more expensive to do something that looks like a manga.
Right.
I was like, how could that be?
Maybe.
But it's true that like manga is more like the drawings in manga can be more detailed than.
They can be more detailed. I'm curious if the expenses was usually because a team is working on a manga. Where I guess a team is working on animation too, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think one thing that I knew that when we started working on, we haven't worked on a comic together. I've done plenty of fan art of Mass Boy, but I knew that I admired you a lot as an artist, and you also had a lot of great philosophies about making comics. You also had a lot of anti-philosophies regarding a particular famous cartoonist who basically wrote the instructional book on how to make comics for a lot of folks. Have you ever punched Scott McCloud in person?
I haven't punched him. I went to a reading of one of his books when he was touring for The Sculptor.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously, if I had read The Sculptor beforehand, I would have punched him. But I had not, so...
What inspired you to so for context for folks, I keep forgetting that I'm speaking to an audience. Bluehead essentially wrote a criticism to Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics, which was incredible because at the time that I was getting into comics, nobody else had really felt like called out Scott McCloud for anything. But do you mind do you remember? Because I haven't read it in a while, but do you remember essentially what your thesis was?
I reread it today because you threatened to. You threatened to ask me about him.
Uh-huh.
I was like, please don't. I feel uncomfortable.
No, you didn't. Don't say that.
And you were like, no. You have to talk about it.
Don't paint me like that.
So I reread it, and I feel like the main thing that I took away from it is that it needs a lot of editing, like my essay, which is why I didn't release it.
It was a first draft. It was
Yeah, it's a first draft, but yeah, I could use I feel like the problem that I had in the essay is I was trying to I was trying to argue with something that didn't really make sense, or that he hadn't really made clear. So it was it was kind of hard to.
I remember it being about the time, the way he interpreted time in comics.
Yeah. So he has a definition of what comics are, but it's juxtaposed images and juxtaposed drawings and other images in sequence or something like that. I don't remember. But in Making Comics, his third book about comics, he gives a simplified version of that definition, which is basically space equals time.
Yeah.
That's how it works in comics. And that's sort of what the essay was about, is like, what does he mean by that, and like, is that actually meaningful in any way or helpful in any way to think about comics in that sense? And my argument is like, it doesn't really seem like he knows what he's saying. And that's part of why it was hard to write the essay, is because like it was hard to get a grip on even what his argument was once I like looked into it, because he does a great job of like making you feel like you are having revelations as you like alongside him as he like guides you through this journey. And a lot of the things that he touches on are very alluring, I think the two major things that like his view of comics like have contributed to comics is one, the idea that comics are not like necessarily their history. So like just because comics are like often stupid and vapid or have been, like, it doesn't mean that comics have to be stupid and vapid. It's just like that's been their history. But because comics are a form, like they can be other things, in the same way that like just because there's been shitty sculpture, it doesn't mean that all sculpture is shitty.
Right. He like, tries to bring the he tries to make comics very academic in his books.
Yeah. And the other exciting thing is that he like his definition is so broad that he like it allows you to think of things that people don't traditionally think of as comics as being comics. So the Bayeux Tapestry is like something that he brings up. So like if you like look at old medieval painting,
like triptychs, he would consider comics.
Yeah, possibly. At least some kinds of triptychs he might consider comics. And yeah, so that's what is appealing about it. But he has this very like scientific, he wants his comics theory to have this like feeling of scientific rigor. So he
tries to make it sound profound beyond maybe what it actually is meant to be, or what it actually is.
Well, what he wants is to like be able to analyze comics in like a pseudo-scientific way.
Okay.
And that's why he brings in the concepts of time and space, I think, because they have that like feeling to them. And like it's alluring also because like if you think you know how to convert like space to time in comics, then like you know how comics work, and you sort of like can go from there. Like, so his argument is that basically like panels, like space on the comics page, equates to time that has passed in
I remember that.
the reader's mind. And I don't know. It just sounds like nonsense to me. That's sort of my other takeaway. Is like I don't even know why I was arguing with this, because it's so silly.
Yeah, I heard a pretty good take at the my friend's book release over the weekend, where the comic book shop owner Brian Hibbs, he's known in the comics community. He has the oldest comic book shop in San Francisco that's still around, I believe. I mean, oldest is the 80s when it comes to comic book shops still hanging around. But he basically was saying that like you can't control time in comics because it's a medium where the reader can flip back and forth on the pages. Like a reader can focus on a piece of art or a piece of dialogue in your comic, and then choose to move back and forth if they wish. Like, it's not like, I get what Scott McCloud is trying to say in regards to, like, you know, if you see in Japanese manga, the use of panels is sometimes meant to indicate a pause in time. But I think Scott McCloud even says that the space between gutters is meant to, like, stop the reader from moving too quickly on the page. And if it does happen, I think it happens.
He does.
But if it does happen, I feel like it happens at such a minuscule amount of time that you're not really, you're not, comics isn't animation in that same way. Comics isn't a film in that same way where a reader will delay it according to the amount of space between panels. So I think that's what you said, like, it's meant to sound profound, but it's really not making much sense, and I get that it's harder to argue because of it.
Yeah, so one of the things that he seems to believe is that, like, spaces between the gutters, like the spaces between panels, like lead our, like, we move our eyes over it and we, like, fill in what happens in between the panels. And also maybe that the more space there is between the panels, the more time has passed within the comic. But it's just silly because, like, eyes don't work that way. Although, like, to be fair to him,
eyes don't
like,
control
this is
time.
something that's yeah, well, yeah, like, if this isn't, like, a problem just in comics. Like, when people are talking about painting, they will also sometimes talk about, like, oh, there's, like, this line that is, like, leading your eye through through the painting. But we actually, that has been debunked. Like, we know that's not
Whoa! I believe that.
Oh, do you?
You're messing up.
Okay,
You're messing up my whole shit. You mean all my golden ratio compositions aren't leading anyone's eyes to the X, the invisible X?
I'm so sorry.
You're blowing my world, Blue.
Because it's like a claim that can be verified, we can verify whether it's happening or not, because we can do eye tracking experiments.
That's true. Yeah.
And, like, we can follow and see, like, do people's eyes actually, like, follow the lines that are, like, encoded within a painting.
Right.
And the answer seems to be that no, they don't. And
Interesting.
First of all, the first problem is that eyes don't work that way, because eyes don't travel smoothly from one.
Yeah. It's not.
They don't travel smoothly.
It's not a camera on a track. I get that.
Yeah. So basically they flit from one subject to another.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they're basically flitting between points of interest, and they don't seem to be guided by any sort of, like, lines that indicate motion or anything like that. They seem to be guided by, like, areas of interest. So the thing that most people look at when they first look at a painting is human face. Like, if there's a human face in the painting, they will look at the human face. Then they will often look at hands. Then they might look at the chest or crotch. And
interesting.
yeah, and then they might look at areas of greater detail within the painting, like if there's, like, some dense foliage or something like that. Like, in contrast to, like, some rocks that are like in shadow and so less detailed.
That's
so yeah, that seems to be how people look at paintings and drawings. It's not based on any sort of, like, formalist thing that's, like, guiding your eyes. It's just, like, based on content.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people want to
People
are interested.
people
in
want to see
content.
crotches. People want to look right at that crotch.
Yeah, people want to see crotches. It's sort of like unsurprising because like what do we do in any other context outside of art when we like look? We're like, oh, we look for human faces.
Yeah.
We look for hands. We look at crotches. And we look at stuff that like has a lot of interesting detail. And, that's also how art works, unsurprisingly.
I do think that like there are areas in understanding comics that, you know, outside of sounding profound, actually do make sense in terms of like his bit about like humans recognizing, humans recognizing, you know, two dots and a smile makes a face, and are the way abstraction in comics essentially can actually, you know what, that's starting to sound like bullshit too. The idea that if you have simple characters, what does he say? He has this triangle about like these different spectrums, that the more complex the face, the less effort it has to put into. I'm pulling out my book right now, but he essentially says that like simpler faces are better at not simpler concepts.
Like basically, what he says is that more iconic, simple designs make it easier to relate to the character, because in a sense you feel that you are that character, whereas more detailed designs make you feel that is an other, like not you, but like some other character.
Like
you're not necessarily like being like, oh, that's me and I'm in the world of the comic.
Right. I think I've seen people resonate with very complex characters. So I feel like maybe that's another essay you have to write now.
I'm not as interested in that. But it also seems like silly to me. But I do like that chart that he made. Like,
it is a nice chart.
I love a stupid chart. I don't care that it's stupid. I just want to look at it.
Oh wow!
Actually,
look
understanding comics in. Huh.
Oh no, you go ahead. I was gonna comment on your Snoopy, but you finish your thought.
Oh, I was gonna say that understanding comics inspired Long Pig because of like I wanted to do, like, I liked the feeling that it was like leading me through like these revelations, but the revelations were almost without like actual content. So I was like, I wonder if I could like create a comic that has just has that feeling of revelation, but doesn't actually say anything.
Right. Do you want to
do
you want to explain what a long pig is?
Yeah, so Long Pig is a comic that I did for a while. You can find it on Twitter. I don't remember if you can find it on Blue Sky. I think you can just find it on Twitter, unfortunately. Oh yeah, and you can also find it on Itch, on my Itch. But basically what I would do is I would read a whole bunch of comics, and I would like grab panels from them, and there were like all different genres and stuff. There was like, I grabbed some stuff from Understanding Comics, I grabbed stuff from like superhero comics, from newspaper comics, autobio comics, like everything that I could get my hands on. And then I would like, I had a giant file of these panels, and I would like periodically look at them and see if any of them fit together in any way. Yeah. And I sort of over years I would like put together these like collages of comics, like entirely without any of my own drawings, just panels stolen from other comics.
So you were the first AI image generator.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Where's all your billions of dollars?
Yeah, unfortunately, I got scooped. Not scooped.
Scraped.
I got I got cheated out of my rightful
Oh
fortune.
no.
Yeah, sorry.
You just invested it right back into stealing more online images of comics. I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. That's one of the comics that I'm prouder of. I
Yeah.
think it's cool. It's a little like I approached it sort of like writing poetry
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
So
No, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say it felt very organic and abstract. It really felt like it was taking a more contemporary approach to like reflecting on comics. It just kind of feels like the medium of comics hasn't had a crazy like a crazy revolution in a while, and it just feels like that kind of felt like it was something. It was something that we could say was different for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely wasn't a revolution either, because like not very many people read it, but yeah, but not a lot of people read poetry either.
Yeah.
So it's what I get.
What for making obscure art? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Puppy Night's the most obscure property there is. Nobody's random coworker has read Puppy Night. I don't think you were around in the chat. Somebody, a friend had mentioned that they ran to somebody at work who read Puppy Night independently of knowing anybody else who had read Puppy Night.
Well, that's cool. Is there gonna be a cartoon of Puppy Night? When's that happening?
I don't know. I'm not the one. You're not the one asking questions here. I am. But
I'm sorry. I retract my question.
The Mike's agent has already sold one cartoonist's property to Netflix. My prerogative is to not be involved in the process. But Mike and I are working on a deal where I still get paid for having created Puppy Night, co-created Puppy Night.
Oh, that's great.
I think this is getting off topic, but I felt like I don't think animation was really something. I like doing it for my own. I like doing it for these streams. Like I love making people's little characters.
Yeah, you animated me.
Yeah, but I don't think working on a fully animated project is really for me. Which is funny because I'm trying to work on an animated intro for this show, but again, it's in service of my own fun. I don't want to drive the conversation to things that bum me out, but like one of the reasons that I feel like AI doesn't making stuff with AI generators doesn't resonate with me at all. Not only just because I'm an experienced cartoonist or artist, but I really do enjoy all the work that goes into making this shit. Like I do enjoy the I don't need a shortcut. Like I purposely punish myself. And here's the thing. I think some folks in another Discord I'm in, they made a good point that like I think a lot of the artists who make those short comics about like oh haha art is pain and like oh like it's so like oh you have to struggle to make art. I feel like that's the reason people have given AI art more credit. Like that argument that like it just makes it easier to make art. I feel like it comes from a lot of those complaints of about the process of making art. I don't know if you feel similarly or if you thought about kind of that. But this is not a pro AI art show.
I was thinking about something that we talked about briefly a little while back. I don't know if you remember this, but I was watching that show Monben. Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
I'm familiar with where they it's like a
Okay.
documentary show that follows mangaka, like making manga, right?
Yes. Um, and I think one thing that really stuck out to me from when I was watching that, and I mentioned this to you, was there was one mangaka who was like, um, said like, I can't get over the feeling that comics would be a lot better if you could just draw a single stroke and be done with the comic. And I feel like there's some truth to this. Uh, but I don't actually think that AI provides this in any way.
But what does that mean? Like making one stroke and then the comic finishes itself?
Well, I think it's obviously something that can't happen, and that's why like it's a like a wistful dream and
Right.
not like
I
something they're actually working toward. But I if you think of a drawing as like not like something in service of a finished product, but as like a gesture, it's like it's pretty linear, like literally, like you can only draw one thing at a time. You're limited by your human form. Whereas in like something like dance or something, you like can use your entire body to like convey something in like just a few movements. And that's kind of what I took away from it. It's like art would be better if you could like if it was like dance and you could like
he wanted to move more.
yeah, like I don't know, like I wish I could just like move my whole body and like have a comic come out. If that makes sense. And like I don't want to like spend a bunch of time like filling in these fiddly details because that's not really what's important to me. But it's just the limitations of how it works.
I would say in regards to like okay, the fiddly details. I feel like people use that argument when it comes to like, oh, coloring comics. I hate coloring my comics is what people say, and so I wish I could automate it away. But the thing is, like, it's like, well, then why are you coloring your comics? Like, you don't have to color your comics. Why are you adding the fiddly details? Why are you making comics with fiddly details if that's the thing you hate drawing? And it's this idea that I kind of discovered when I was working on backgrounds for Puppy Night, where I was like, okay, like, I'm wasting a lot of time, like, adding all these details of backgrounds until I realized, oh, a lot of comics just don't have backgrounds in most of their panels. And then I was able to still make a great comic, still get the pacing right without having to draw every background in every panel. So it's just kind of like, if the art, I feel like this Monben artist who's like, I want to be able to draw comics with one gesture, I feel like is also suffering from a very crushing industry that essentially like forces the artist to make these fiddly details, to work extreme turnaround times for these comics, and just places all this terrible stress on them. Like, I have to be realistic that like folks work this way so that they can come off as viable cartoonists. Like I you know, Michael's agent, he once asked for recommendations, like, hey, do you know anybody who's a workhorse, like to get a book done in like a few weeks? And so it's just like, I feel like what's happening, all of these feelings of like, I want something that can take care of these fiddly details. I want AI to take care of this for me. It's essentially thinking that comics have to be a certain way. And I feel like a lot of the solutions are very myopic. I feel like people have the ability to come up with alternative ideas and they'll still be great. But I gotta tell you, I get so worked up talking about AI. Like I Yeah, oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna focus it back on Snoopy because I can just go on for the rest of this show. How many Snoopies have you gotten there, Blue?
I've gotten 18 Snoopies. You?
Oh Lord, I have only got the 16. Do you want to show one of your favorite Snoopies so far?
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm not even really paying attention to what Snoopies I'm drawing. Let me look.
I got Bart Snoopson.
Well, I got this smoking Snoopy.
That's what I wanted to comment on.
this
That
one.
one was really cool. That's the Hayao Miyazaki of Snoopies. Oh Lord,
my early ones are pretty good. I like
That was
this one
fun.
on the doghouse.
I think my goal is to work much smaller. I was almost gonna cheat with this Matryoshka Snoopy by just drawing like 6 more Matryoshka doll Snoopies and counting those as like.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No,
See, if only we could draw one gesture.
right,
I've drawn
and just
100
have
Snoopies.
right. There was somebody had commented, or somebody had screen shared like this post that was like in defense of AI. It's like you can't just ask a human artist to draw 100 circles of variant sizes all differently in like under like 2 minutes, and it's just kind of like I just feel like people. I don't know if the word is that they missed the point of like I just don't I just feel like nobody's ever put a pen to paper and actually made these things happen. And the biggest scam I'm seeing right now is folks being convinced that you could never make great art if you didn't use AI. Like people saying that you don't need Hollywood you don't need Hollywood anymore now that you have Claude and whatever ChatGPT's video thing is. It's like, no, that's how movies were made. People made movies in their garages, and you're taking away their agency to make art. And you're convincing them that they need to pay a subscription to you to like make things. And that's the thing that drives me absolutely insane.
Right, yeah. It's another one of those like rent-seeking behaviors on the part of like Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
It's like they tried this with like Adobe Cloud as well. Like that's all part of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, can we get you to pay rent on this, please?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the same thing here.
Yeah. Nobody's charging me to draw these Snoopies. And that's how I want to keep it.
Wow.
That's how you make art, right, Blue?
Because nobody's paying us? I would still make it if somebody paid me. I don't care. Maybe that'd be better.
Blue, it's all about the passion of making art. Says the artist who can't be doing this without their wife's support. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if that was the attitude I took? That was like, you gotta focus on the art. That's all it's about. Don't worry about those bills. It's about making the art. It's about drawing these Snoopies.
Well, right now it is about drawing these Snoopies.
It is, and
We're really behind. We're really failing.
I gotta say though, I really like Snoopy 17 I'm drawing right here.
Oh wow, yeah, that's good.
How's the chat doing? Is everyone doing okay?
Everybody's melting down in the chat.
I think so. I'm looking at paragraphs of text.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Buff has gone
I have
out of his mind.
I have 2 moderators here. I think we're fine. All right, this is Snoopy number 17. I'm gonna make a Pikachu Snoopy. How about that? I bet you can't put Pikachu Snoopy in a AI program. It'll blow up.
I'm sure you could.
It'll blow up. I bet you it'll blow up all of the servers. You can't just think things like that. Only the human brain can think up of a Pikachu Snoopy. Nobody's ever. I think that's the other thing that drives me nuts is that like so like when AI first like showed up maybe 5 years ago when people were first experimenting with Midjourney, I was really like impressed because people were making these are the models that were the most hallucinatory. Like the very early models were like you would type in give me a dog and it would like churn out like images of like rotted meat growing into like insane geometry. Like it didn't make any sense. And essentially like I was like holy crap, like I think this is stuff that nobody can ever think of is all the hallucinations that people would make. And people made some really crazy like creepypasta stuff with these early image generators. And then flash forward 4 years later, like people are just making little Pixar dogs. And it just feels like, I mean, that's commercialization of any kind of art, but it just kind of felt like I don't know. It just kind of fizzled out for me. And then like the stuff that really started driving me insane was when people at work would be amazed at like AI stuff and nobody else would call it out for it looking like shit until after I quit.
Oh my gosh.
So I lost my fucking mind. And I would not
see why.
Again, I talked to Catherine because I can't make this is probably the reason that my coworkers didn't say anything, because that's job security you're losing there. Like you can't just say like, oh, that was shit, I don't want to work on AI anymore, like because they'll just lose their job. They have a lot of these folks have kids. But I told Catherine. Catherine said like, hey, like if this is how you feel, like let's like basically I had made the plan to get back into comics then and there. I hope the chat's doing okay because I definitely went on one of my rants. Holy shit.
The chat seems enraptured by your words.
I drew a snake Snoopy, a snaky.
Oh, good.
Oh, you drew
I like
you drew
the
a
one
classic.
that's squeezing.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, I ran out of ideas and drew a classic.
Here, I'll
check out this Snoopy. Hold on.
Oh, look at that guy. Hey,
this one.
You must have used AI for that one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna draw Snoopy with a gun. I'm also running out of ideas. Folks, this is not easy.
Snoopy personas. I feel I've only drawn like one Snoopy persona. I've just been drawing Snoopies on autopilot. Here, I'll draw a Joe Cool.
Oh, that's right. Snoopy has siblings.
No, not. Well, I mean, he does have siblings too. Yeah.
Wait, is Joe Cool not his sibling?
No, Joe Cool is Snoopy. Have you not read Peanuts, Josue?
Not really.
What's going on here? Oh my god. So Snoopy has a bunch of personas. Like the Red Baron is probably the most famous one.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
It's in the Halloween one. But yeah, he has Joe Cool as well. Joe Cool is like a cool college dude who hangs out by the dorm, but he's like really a loser. He doesn't want to admit it.
He just hasn't graduated yet.
Yeah. But yeah, he also has siblings. He's got Spike, who lives in the desert by himself.
I like Spike.
He's got Andy. Yeah, Spike is good.
We like Spike.
And yeah, we like Spike. Andy is like Snoopy if he was really fluffy. We've got Olaf, who's like Snoopy if he was very fat.
Oh.
And sticking his tongue out really cutely. I think there's more, but I don't remember them. Those are the three I know.
so Snoopy fought for like the Austrian army in the World War? Is that why he's like the red? What is he? The Red Baron?
Oh, sorry, he's not the Red Baron. The Red Baron is his nemesis.
Oh.
He is like the flying ace.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
We got a good question.
He fought for the Allies.
Oh, okay.
Is there a girl Snoopy? I don't remember. Great question though. Keep them coming. Gang fight.
Gang fight is a friend of the show. I don't know how to draw guns, Blue.
Oh.
Maybe that makes me a good person.
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay. Gosh, I hope I wasn't a bad host because of my my rant on AI.
Oh no, you were you were fine, and I was drawing Snoopy at the time, I
Okay.
believe.
That's the best I could do as a host. Give
Yeah.
you the opportunity to draw some good Snoop. I gotta say though, coming up with so many Snoopies, a lot harder than it looks. If only,
Yeah, it's hard.
if only drawing was like a gesture.
But like, see, the thing about that is like, I don't think that's actually what AI is like, because AI is like fiddling around with a machine that doesn't understand what you want and will just like give you a random garbage that you have to then like correct or like give up on, more likely. But like a gesture, it's like the fantasy of like,
It's like
Oh,
Mickey
like,
Mouse. Mickey Mouse using the magic hat.
yeah, which is I think what we're supposed to think that AI is like, but it's not. It's like really frustrating and unfun, on top of every other problem that it has.
But we all know how Mickey ended with that. Didn't end good.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
basically created the mop version of Skynet with that magic hat.
Yeah, great point.
I'm barely getting to 19 Snoopies. This is... You think we can do it, Blue?
Of course I do.
All right. That's what I want to hear. Folks, if you have a suggestion for a Snoopy, let's hear it. I heard Girl Snoopy. I'm going to go for Girl Snoopy.
The more that I think about it, the more I feel like there is a girl Snoopy, but
I think so. I think there's got to be.
I'm not sure.
I think I'm just drawing Snoopy with a wig. So it could be drag Snoopy.
Drag Snoopy. I feel like I'm drawing gay Snoopy right now, but there's an accident.
Oh, I love that.
I meant to draw Joe Cool,
Joe Cool could be gay.
but yeah, you're right.
Joe Cool could be Snoopy's cruising persona.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, that's a great idea for one.
Cruising Snoopy?
Yeah, cruising Snoopy. Which number is this one for me anyway? I don't remember.
When did you get into the Peanuts?
Again, it's not something that I read as a child.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm opening a window because it's really, really hot. And I feel like I'm in Snoopy hell. Yeah, so I think I was reading you know Seth, the cartoonist.
Yes.
Seth?
He has like a little like cat character. I think no. Or like
he's not a. He's not one of those.
No.
He's like straight and boring.
Is it?
I don't know why I assumed
no, no.
the cat is gay.
But who am I thinking? Is it very stark black and white artwork?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know.
Well,
you're
actually, that's dating, but it looks like the New Yorker sort of.
Yeah.
Like that kind of style. I was interested in reading him because he was like friends with two other cartoonists, Joe Matt and this third guy. I forget his name, but he wrote Mary Wept Over the Feet of Jesus, which is a comic about how the Bible like is pro prostitution.
Oh, interesting.
But anyway, like they were all friends, and they all did autobio comics mainly.
Yeah.
And so they were like in each other's comics a lot. So I was kind of like reading all three of their comics, and being like, oh, like it's this like little universe of Canadian cartoonists. Oh no, this shadow looks bad. And Seth would like mention Peanuts a lot in his autobio comics and like buying Peanuts books and stuff. And I was like, oh, I've never really actually read Peanuts except like in the newspaper once in a while. I guess I'll see what that's all about. That was probably in like 2015 or something like that. 2016.
And what made you stick with it?
It was really good. It's the best comic I've ever read. So I guess I would say it was that.
Compared to like, because I know you didn't grow up with other comic strips, but did you read any collections of other comic strips?
Yes. I mean, I read Calvin and Hobbes,
Yeah.
Far Side, Garfield, and I read a bunch of old weird stuff. But I think that I started reading that stuff after Peanuts because I was like, oh, actually, newspaper comics can be really great. Who knew?
Yeah. So what do you think really struck out to you more in Peanuts than anything else? For me, it was definitely Far Side that struck out to me the most in newspaper comics.
I think it's the characters. They're all like very unique and like nuanced people, which is interesting. They're and a lot of them are like female characters. And if anything, the female characters like tend to be more interesting than a lot of the male characters in Peanuts, which is also kind of unusual among comics, because like in newspaper comics, female characters tend to be like pretty one note, and in like superhero comics. Well, I don't want to speak too broadly about superhero comics because my experience with them is limited, but the point is like it just has a lot of like fascinating characters, and there's a lot more going on with them than you would expect, given that it's like a little gag strip.
Yeah,
so I feel like it just has
little
like
kids.
A lot of,
yeah.
Yeah, well, they're little kids sort of in the same way that Snoopy is a little dog.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes Snoopy will do dog things, and sometimes the kids will do little kid things, but they're really their own, like, cartoon society of just, like, human beings.
Yeah.
Not really children.
I mean, and they got adult problems. Charlie Brown goes to a therapist.
Yeah. I also Charles Schultz also has an interesting sense of humor for a gag strip. Like, he won't always do a punchline. Sometimes he'll like spend the whole comic like just like repeating a word that he thinks is funny, or he's very, like, I would say it's a very verbal comic. Like, the drawings are great and they can be very funny, but it's really like he has such fun with words. I think partially because he's like inspired by like Crazy Cat. Like, I don't know if you've ever read Crazy Cat.
Yeah. Or there's a lot of non sequitur humor, a lot of brick throwing in that comic.
Yeah, and also like in Crazy Cat, all the dialogue is like very poetic. It's all like written in like half rhyming dialect and with like weird slang and nonsense words. Oh my god, I'm only at 24. That's only halfway through.
I know. We got.
I don't think we can do this. Now that I think about
we
it.
We got 30 minutes. You just called it Snoopy Hell, so I think we're gonna cap it at 50.
Okay.
Sorry, chat. Like,
we'll
this is.
do a part 2.
We'll have to do a part 2. Yeah. This is really tough. Lord, sorry. Continue about the peanuts.
Oh, that's it. Just like Crazy Cat was a big influence on him, and I think that's part of why it's like so verbal and like he has such fun with words.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. What were you gonna say about being in hell or whatever?
Oh no, I was saying. I think I agree with you. I think we are in Snoopy Hall right now. So we'll wrap this up at 50.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I think that's plenty.
I'm curious if Heathcliff was either a big Crazy Cat fan, considering its use of the author's use of non sequitur in its own comics.
Oh, yeah, good question. I hadn't considered that. That would make sense. I mean, Crazy Cat, I don't know how influential it was on other cartoonists. I mean, I guess it was influential on Peanuts, so
oh yeah,
probably pretty influential by osmosis, if nothing else. Because I know it was like not very widely read, but it might be like a Velvet Underground type thing.
Yeah,
where, like, you know, people say like, oh, basically nobody listened to the Velvet Underground,
right?
But everybody who listened to them started a band.
Right,
so, like,
right, exactly. I feel like
it was influential.
Crazy Cat could have easily be the reason for so many underground cartoonists to be closeted furries. I think it's the reason. It's the reason the rabbit is such an iconic character. The rabbit and the cat are such an iconic character in any indie comic artist's repertoire. Yeah.
Well, there's no rabbit. There's a mouse.
Close enough. Rabbit's mouse.
But yeah, your point stands.
What was my point?
Did you know that your point is that cartoonists are furries or something?
Oh, closeted furries. Yeah.
Yeah, closeted furries. Did you know that the cartoonist for Crazy Cat, his name is George Harriman?
No.
He was a. We think that people think that he was black.
Uh-huh.
Like biracial.
Mm-hmm.
But he passed as white.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a lot.
So he didn't identify publicly with being black.
Yeah. But his comics, I think the comic he did before Crazy Cat was sort sort of about that, of like
Oh.
a character who has like a secret racial identity.
Oh, interesting.
People think that it might be like autobiographical.
Interesting.
And of course, like, Crazy Cat itself is like just like other like funny animal cartoons of that time. It's like based on like repurposed like minstrel show
yeah.
tropes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's some interesting writing about that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people who different artists at the time. This is not comparable at all, but one of my favorite designers, A.M. Cassandra, chose a pseudonym because being a graphic designer was looked down upon. Again, bad comparison, but I do think that people protected their careers. People did what they had to do to protect their careers, is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Also, do you like this hot tub Snoopy I'm drawing?
Oh wow, yes I do.
And do you want to know how I know how those shoulder muscles work?
Is it because you took an life drawing class?
Yep, because of yesterday's model. I figured out how that works.
Wow, you're putting your work to use.
Borrow Snoopy, according to
use.
Katsu Hearts.
Yeah.
All right, this is number 22. Shit, I need 3 more. All
I
right,
only need 1 more.
Mario Snoopy, let's go.
Mario Snoopy. Sure. That's your go-to.
Folks, it is getting close to our bedtime. We thought we can go the distance. Who knew? I was almost gonna call him Bill Watterson. Who knew Charles Schultz designed one of the most complicated characters to draw?
Yeah. I don't really like Calvin and Hobbes.
You know what? I love Calvin and Hobbes. I love Bill Watterson.
I don't like it.
What?
I like the drawings though.
The drawings are great. What do you not like about the humor? Or what it is that you don't like? Yeah.
Some of it is like, it's not all bad, but I feel like sometimes it just gets like, it either gets like very preachy or it gets like very sentimental, which Peanuts never really does either of those things. So it's hard for me not to like compare them.
Yeah.
I guess.
I totally get I think that's why I feel like I get overly sentimental in my like shorter comics. I resonate with that. I resonate with like the kind of this sounds like a little bit of a punchdown, but the kind of saccharine poetry. I'm not very subtle when it comes to my art, and so I kind of like it when it hits you on the head a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So really, you would say you're influenced by Bill Watterson?
I'd say so.
Shorter comics. Interesting.
I don't attribute it. I know for like a lot of the scenery I try to do in Puppy Night, some of it is inspired. A lot of the nature is inspired by Bill Watterson. I do have a comic.
Well, I would have.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I would have guessed about the drawing. Like, I think there's similarities between the way you draw Puppy Night and the way you draw. And the way Bill Watterson draws, backgrounds and
one of my first comics, Canis Major, which is about like, what if your star-crossed lover, if you were misaligned for a bit and your lover reincarnated as a French bulldog, and do you remember that one?
I read that.
Yeah. There's a dinosaur sequence in there that is 100% Bill Watterson inspired. All right, we got Mario Snoopy. That's number 23.
Wow.
Two more. Gosh, and you're coloring yours. I have no excuse.
Well, I'm stalling a bit because I'm a little ahead.
You're too kind. All right, Pimp Snoopy, Dr. Mario Snoopy, Tumor Snoopy. Who else we got? Let's do Tumor Snoopy. Should be simple enough.
Walton Goggins Snoopy.
Hey, 2 for 1. Let's go.
I'll try.
Do you like Walter Goggins?
I've only seen him in White Lotus.
Oh, okay. He plays a really interesting character in The Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, I have not seen The Righteous Gemstones. Yeah, let's see. What does he look like? He looks like a big forehead man, for
Yeah.
sure.
Blue, I'm sorry I put us up to this. This is...
No, this is fun. I mean, I am in hell. But in a fun way.
Okay. I guess hell could be fun.
Yeah.
Folks, thank you for sticking around for this. It's not every day you get to see 2 grown people struggle to draw a cartoon dog.
Did we go extra long?
No, not at all. The longest on record I've streamed with the guests is probably 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was with Kasu.
Oh, wow. Because were they pixelated?
We were trying to draw 200 Snoopies.
You motherfucker. It's not true. It's not true. It can't be true.
Okay, this is number 24. We need one more Snoopy. Give us one more Snoopy. Spoopy! There we go. That's a good one. We are not making stickers of Tumor Snoopy. Technically, I turned Tumor Snoopy into Big Brain Snoopy. All right, Spooky Snoopy. Spoopy, let's go. Good old Spoopy. Good old Spoopy, folks.
Oh, that's great.
Everyone likes a little Spoopy. Little Spoopy Snoopy.
Are you losing your mind?
I am. This. I go to bed at 10:30. I wake up at 6:30. So I get tired pretty early into the night.
Wake up at 6:30?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's I've figured, so I'm trying to write more because again, quitting my job, I'm putting more focus into getting back into publishing again. And I want to try pitching for an agent by the time the next Puppy Night book comes out, which is in October. So I have a couple of months to work on a story. I have a few ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really cool is the publisher for the Puppy Night book that's coming out. They want a first look at what I'm working on. So
Oh, cool.
I think there's an avenue there that I'm gonna try to see if I can work something out. But it's gonna be, I'm not a writer. I write shorts. Again, I feel like I write pretty saccharine poetry, and so I'm trying to kind of get that foot in there. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that would be cool if you got a publisher interested in a like original project. Do you have anything in mind?
I do. So I have a project I'm gonna pitch. That is, I talked to that same editor that we worked with for the second Puppy Night. YA and kids books are still the most profitable and most lucrative kinds of books in the industry right now. So I have one that's going to be all ages. The log line is essentially wow, great Malenko shout out. We got a lot of jugglers in the chat. The log line is Alice in Wonderland meets Interstellar. So one of the things that I wanted to make a story in the style of like a Lewis Carroll fable is I felt like he was really good at highlighting the absurdities of society at that time into a fun little adventure of kind of an innocent walking around exploring the world. And so my story takes place on essentially a biodome that the main character is not aware. He just lives on a farm with his grandfather. It's all the life he's ever known. Until he follows a dog into, and it's funny, all my books have dogs in them. He follows a dog into a chute that leads him to find out that he actually lives on a spaceship that has like, it's one of those like what do they call them? Like when everyone's trying to escape a planet, kind of like an ark. But it's an ark that has not been managed by its captain for however long. So different societies develop in the different biomes. So kind of similar to like if you ever read the Silo series or the Fallout series. And so our main character explores these new habitats and biomes, and essentially is confronted with the ways societies develop differently. Some develop into cult mentalities about their captain that they haven't seen forever. Like they're waiting for the second coming of their captain. So there's religious allegory that I have to figure out how to make sure it's sellable, especially if it's going into a more YA space. And then the book that I want to self-publish, or at least find an indie publisher, is kind of a autobio of my first year, like admitting to myself that I was gay, and essentially kind of what cis gay dating felt like to me at the time. And essentially tell it in dress it up as like a Super Mario character navigating the game of life. So that one's gonna be called Leap Man. I think those are the two that I'm gonna focus on. One that to self-publish because it's more adult, and then one that is more kid-friendly. And
that's cool.
And I talked to my editor about like, and this is actually this is a topic we didn't really get into, just kind of like how I can publish or make erotic art as a published children's illustrator. And he has some mixed feelings about it, but the thing is like Michael Sweater also, like his comics are very adult. And so
I thought you were gonna say that Michael Sweater draws porn.
No, but there's a lot of sexual themes in his most recent stories.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, he was saying that, like, you know, he worked with people at Nickelodeon before. He was an editor for like Nickelodeon comics, Scooby-Doo comics, and basically, I forget what properties, what cartoons they were, but when it was like the early internet of like forums, the moment these people were announced as like the showrunners of these Nickelodeon cartoons, people would bring up their like erotic art, and essentially like it was that kind of like when people talk about Rebecca Sugar drawing Ed and Eddie porn, it was like that.
She drew Ed and Eddie porn? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was just kind of like that initial shock kind of thing, and then that was kind of it. Like they still got to do their project, and like you know, so I'm not worrying about it too much. I still want to keep a very strict pseudonym. If I'm publishing like Leap Man, it will probably be through an imprint that has my name on it, but isn't the searchable like if you were to search, you'd have to search the imprint first, I'm sure. But I still want people to know it's me. I still want people to know that I make this artwork too. So we'll see. That's my 2025. We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see how it goes.
It's cool that you had this conversation with your editor.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I
feel like I would have just.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I
have to draw the Fago. By the way, the chat is so mad at you. I don't know if you.
Why are they mad at me?
This entire time you've been talking, they've just been furiously yelling at you.
Did they want me to put like a little Joker hat?
They don't care about your gay autobio comics. They just want you to draw a Juggalo.
Did they want like a little Jester hat on this guy?
No, they want a Juggalo.
They want me to say "Great Malenko." I know what's up. You don't think that I'm a Juggalo too? Gosh, that ruined my train of thought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not
I'm sorry that everybody yelling at
that
you.
Everyone hates me.
Train of thought. Yeah.
No, what was I gonna say? Oh, so one thing I learned about the pitching process is like the work that you're pitching is gonna be edited by not just your editor, but like if you're working with an agent, they're also gonna like tell you like, hey, like, and this is not to be like they're not being malicious. They're trying to get you to put out the best book you can. Essentially, what you pitch is not necessarily going to be what actually gets picked up. So.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
What's going on with the chat right now? I don't know.
They want you to draw Juggalo.
I'm drawing the spoopy one. Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh. Okay, this is something I implemented. You can't hear it, but the Super Mario time running out theme just played on the stream. So we got to wrap up.
Oh, are we running out of time?
Yeah, we're actually running out of time.
I'm almost done with this Juggalo Snoopy. And anyway, this is an extra one from me because it's number 26.
Oh, Lord. Well, I filled up a page of Snoopies.
I wish that we... yeah. I was going to say, I wish we hadn't done this.
Yeah. I should have made... I guess Cassie drew a Snoopy. We have a total of 52 Snoopies drawn. I don't know what's going on with the chat, but Blue, can we see a full screen of all your Snoopies?
Hold on, I have to draw the Snoopy saying whoop whoop because it's being accused of looking like the Kiss band.
Hold on, and I'll try to
instead of.
Hold on, where is Stream Manager?
Okay.
I'm trying to grab All right, hold on. Give me 1 sec. And we also have a guest drawing. I'm loving that this is the second stream now where we had viewers participate. We have this lovely drawing by Casu Hearts, friend of the show. It is a Snoopy, a Juggalo Snoopy.
Oh wow!
Smacking a fat donk.
That's great.
Cassie Hearts, you are our chat feature of the show. Folks, look at these lovely Snoopies. Can I see that big brain Snoopy you have there? On the bottom left, Blue, there's looks like a Henry Ford Snoopy. Not Henry Ford, Gerald Ford.
This is Walton Goggins. What I think Walton Goggins looks like.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent.
Am I close, or does it look just like a generic man?
It looks like the guy who plays Frasier.
Oh, Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer mixed in with the guy who plays Red from the 70s show.
A modest forehead. Hold on.
Taras, I know it was Snoopy Hell, but did you have a good time?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yes, I did.
I'm glad. Folks,
I had a great time.
Thank you for bearing with us as we took on this challenge that was a lot harder than it seemed at first.
Yeah.
Blue, I gotta say, I don't think I could have done this without you. I don't know. Actually, I know that we couldn't do a 50 more with or without you.
I could do 50 more.
I cannot. My bedtime is in one hour.
Wow.
Folks, thank you for the last few sticking around. This has been a trip. Blue, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. You can find Blue's work on Itch. They have some comics on there. You still have some of your interactive experiences on there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then if you want to,
thank you for having me.
And if you'd love to see some reposted furry porn, follow Tall Snoopy on Blue Sky.
Oh right, yeah. Don't blame me for this.
Nope, I advertised it.
Because I put the wrong Blue Sky link. You know.
All right, buddy.
It's all their fault.
That has been the show. Holy shit! All right, we're out of here. Let's bring up the outro. Goodbye.